What's up, YouTube? What's going on? What's the deal, man? What's the deal? This is your boy. I go by that name, man. I go by that name. You know what they call me. I am J Story, aka Mr. O, BKA Joshua. You dig what I'm saying to you? And before I get started, remember to press the notification bell. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you for all of the love, man. I watch my views go up slowly but surely. And I told you that I would come back with a part 2 to this story. How do I feel about having cerebral palsy part 2? You hear me? So let me get into it, man. It's just that simple, man. It's that simple. Let me recap what I said in the prior video. My history of cerebral palsy started from the time I was born. They didn't know what was really going on, you heard me? But as time progressed, they gave me this diagnosis. Now here I am, 35 years later, still in the chair. So let me go all the way in, man. Let me go in, man. Look, being in a wheelchair for me is it's difficult, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's difficult because you get stereotyped before people even know what you're capable of. You heard me? You get stereotyped even in the school system. You understand me? Because what they do to you in the school system when you're in a wheelchair or you have some type of disability about yourself, what they do to you is automatically categorize you without even knowing who you are. So I dealt with that coming up through the years in school. I've dealt with being the stereotypical student in a wheelchair, but against all odds, I graduated Palm Beach Lakes High School. For those of you who don't know where that is in Florida. You understand me? Class of 2002. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I got my regular diploma. So don't let anybody tell you just because you're in a wheelchair you can't receive a regular diploma, because what the school system doesn't teach you is how you learn. You understand? They teach you how you should learn, but they don't teach you how you learn. You know, because I'm a very auditorial learner. I'm not tactile at all. I'm not a tactile learner. I'm a visual and an auditorial learner. So that's how I learn. I learn best by listening, and I learn best by seeing. You know, you just have to know where you fit in. You gotta get in where you fit in. You understand? Man, it's a real difficult task being in a wheelchair, because for number one, the thing I hate about being in a wheelchair is everybody thinks that you're sick. And that's not the case. That's not how it really should go, and that's not how it really should be, because not everybody in a wheelchair is sick. Not everybody that has a physical disability is sick. You know, not everybody wants to be babied in a wheelchair. Not everybody wants to be stuck in a bubble in a wheelchair. Everybody wants to be their own individual, but at times, I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but at times I feel like a puppet. I feel like I have so many strings over my head, you heard me? Like, My life is so structured to the T. I know what I'm going to do when I wake up in the morning to the time I lay down at night. So it's difficult. It's difficult because sometimes you just wish that you can be an everyday person without the label of disabled or the label of handicapped. I do not like to use the phrase handicapped because I just feel like it's inappropriate. That's my opinion. You dig what I'm saying to you? But it's a learning curve when you are someone of disability, whether it be mental, physical, or emotional disability. It's something that you grow to understand. It's not something that you get used to. Can I say that again? It's something that you grow to understand. Because for me, I cannot look down on anyone. Why? Because I'm already in a wheelchair and I'm at my lowest state. Let me break this down. Everybody that stands over me, I look up to. So I have no need to hold my head down because I'm always looking up to you. So I have no need to look down on the next person and feel that I'm better than they are. You heard me? Because I'm not. And the truth be told, being in a wheelchair is one of the most challenging things that one can do. I mean, I'm going to be transparent with you. I didn't think at one time I was good enough for anybody, because majority of women, and this goes for men too, dating women in wheelchairs, some of them, not all, but majority of them feel like it's a burden or a responsibility, and we get overlooked time and time again. But if you keep the faith, ladies and gentlemen, sir and ma'am, if you keep the faith, you will see and understand that there is somebody for everybody. Because did you ever hear, or did you ever overhear somebody say that opposites attract? Yes, I may sit down, but I'm still standing. Yes, I may need help, but everybody needs help. Yes, I may need you to do something for me out of the ordinary, but somebody somewhere that's walking around in a regular situation needs something done for them. Because everybody that depends on something is not independent. Can I say it again? Everybody that depends on something is not independent. Because if you depend on your job to get you the means to take care of your household, you are dependent. A lot of people like to put that umbrella over our heads. Being in a wheelchair, we have to depend on you. But one thing I learned over the course of my time is not only do I depend on some people, but I also have to depend on God. Ma'am, sir, if you're in a wheelchair, I'm telling you right now that it is okay to depend on God. It is okay to depend on God to be your source, because people will get tired. You dig? But at the same time, I don't mean to get religious on you, but this is just what I believe. At the same time, the Bible said that God will never leave you or forsake you. So, therefore, I'm never alone. Yes, I must say, it feels lonely at times when you have no one to turn to, when you are in your room and laying in your bed in the middle of the night and you just want somebody to love on you, and you feel as if though no one really cares about me because of my predicament, but yet and still I understand the importance of depending on God. Yet and still I realize I may not be able to do everything that everybody else does, but I can do some things better than the average person does. I'm not a dog. I'm not one of those ones who give up easily. I'm not one of those ones who like to feel sorry for myself or feel dependent on somebody. I like to feel like a natural citizen. I like to feel like someone who rises in the morning and lays down at night. I like to be able to go out amongst my peers and have a good time. Yes, it may be a little different. Yes, it may be time consuming. Yes, but I feel like everyone deserves love. I feel like everyone deserves love. If you ever told me that being in a wheelchair would be so different, I would have told you that you were lying, because I didn't really know what a wheelchair was until I got a little older, because my mom and my brothers always taught me how to be quote unquote normal. But now the question is, ladies and gentlemen, what is quote unquote normal? Because when you cannot be yourself, when you cannot be yourself, when you allow people to dictate what you wear, how you look, how you act, you are not set apart. Let me say that again. When you allow people to dictate how you look, how you act, how you dress, how you move, how you shake, how you roll, you understand what I'm saying to you? You are not set apart. And the thing that I try to do with my disability is encourage people to be who they want to be. Because at the end of the day, nobody can do you like you. Nobody can rock the wheelchair like you rock the wheelchair. Nobody can handle your disability like you handle your disability. Because you know what? The thing about being disabled is we have to break the mold that disabled people aren't worthy. The thing that we have to realize is it's hard being in any situation where you have to rely on anybody, you dig? Because people will fall through when they're supposed to come through. Can I say it again? People will fall through when they're supposed to come through, That's why I honestly say, when I think about the pain, the surgery, the scars, the wounds, when I think about it, when I think about the tears I shed, when I think about the blood I saw when they took my bandages off, when I saw the stitches come out, when I went to the doctor's office and all they ever said to me was, it's time to have another surgery. Do you know how that made me feel? Let me break it down to you. It doesn't make you feel very easy. What it makes you feel like is a pincushion, because they cut you, they break you apart, they put you back together. You know what? And I say it like this. I say, I've been cut so much. When they cut me and put me back together, they made me handsome. You dig? For me to be in a wheelchair, I'm a pretty handsome guy. Despite being in a wheelchair, I'm pretty fly, because that's the way you have to feel about yourself. Medicaid is one of my worst enemies, because Medicaid has allowed me to get several free scars that they paid for. I got a scar on my knee. I got 4 on the back of my legs. I had surgery on my eyes. I had some surgery here and surgery there. And what did the surgery do? It didn't do anything. It just made me a little bit cuter, But at the end of the day, no one knows your pain and no one knows your suffering. What you have to do, ma'am, sir, or anyone, what you have to do is turn your suffering into your satisfaction. Can I say that again? What you have to do is turn your suffering into your satisfaction. Because you know what? I'm able, through all of my pain, tears, scars, and wounds, I'm able to tell the next person that comes up behind me that it's going to be okay. There's some sacrifices that you have to make. Being in a wheelchair, you don't get chosen to go with your family when they go on trips. You don't get chosen to go to the prom. You have to end up going by yourself or finding someone to go with you. You have to miss out on very important days where people tend to typically go as a teenager and as a young adult. People typically go, but because you're kind of limited, and not in everybody's case with cerebral palsy, not in everybody's case, but in my case, you're pretty limited on where you can and cannot go. Because if somebody doesn't want to go, you don't go. If somebody says they're tired, then that's what it is. You just don't move, And it sucks because in my mind, I can do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it. You hear me? But at the same time, the situation goes as follows. When you really break it down, you're free in your mind, but you're trapped in your head. Can I say that again? You're free in your mind, but you're trapped in your head. I'm going to break it down a little bit further. Now, in my mind, I'm Superman. I can get anything I want. I can do anything I want to do. I can go anywhere I want to go. But I'm still stuck in my head because your head is different from your mind. You see, your head is the only thing that holds. Your head is the thing that covers your CPU. Your CPU is your brain. You see, your brain makes everything function. You hear me? So, in my head, which houses my brain, I can do whatever I want to do. And if I really want to tell you the truth, the Bible says this. The Bible says that I can do all things through Christ whom strengthens me. So therefore, it doesn't matter who accepts you in this world, but God's going to place somebody in your vicinity that will accept you. Now, going to the bathroom in a wheelchair is a little catchy. It's a little different, and it's not that normal, There's things where you don't have privacy. You want to be on your own. You want to do this and you want to do that, and you can't. And I'm not going to lie to you, it drives me up a wall. It drives me all the way up a wall because people don't understand. People don't understand that just because you have cerebral palsy or a different disability, that you're still human. People do not understand that. Yes, we have desires. Yes, we have feelings. Yes, we cry tears. Yes, we bleed blood. I wish to God that somebody would say what I'm saying right now. I wish to God that somebody would open their mouth and say the truth. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I desire to be married. I desire to have a companion. I desire to be a family man. That is my thing. I want to do the family thing. And people oftentimes come against people who are disabled and they want to do this and they want to do that. Oh, you can't do this because you're that, and you can't do this because you lose this, and you can't do this because you lose that. But guess what? If I lose everything and I'm still happy, that's all that matters. Cerebral palsy or not. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know and realize and understand that regardless to what disability you have, you still have an ability. You still have an ability to touch somebody. You still have an ability to be a blessing in the life of someone. You still have the ability to bless whomever you want to. You may bless somebody in a way that you don't even know how. I'm here to tell you, sometimes I speak to people and just don't even say two words, and I just move the way I move, and I rock the way I rock. You hear me? And that's just it. They love what I'm doing. They love how I'm moving. So being in a wheelchair really doesn't stop anything. It just slows you down. You dig? And sometimes even with the love factor, we as people in wheelchairs have to put ourselves out there instead of trying to hide and wait for love to come to us. We can go get it just like the rest of the people do. Love has no limits. Love has no conditions. So if somebody tells you they love you and then they say, oh, you're in a wheelchair, but I can't be with you, that's not unconditional love. If they really love you, you heard me, they're going to stick with you through thick and thin. You dig? That goes for everyday life. If somebody really loves you, don't let them just give you lip service. You understand me? Don't let them give you just no lip service and say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Show me that you love me. Show me. I dare each and everybody in a wheelchair to do this. Hashtag show me you love me. Hashtag show me you love me. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Facebook. Put it on Snapchat. Anywhere you can put it there. Put it on Instagram. Show me you love me. I'm in a wheelchair, but I still have love to give. Don't get it Twitter, man. Don't get it Twitter. But I cried a lot of nights. I prayed many hours for someone to love me as a person. And you know what? I started to love me first. You dig? Because a lot of people don't know how to love themselves first. You hear me? When I started loving myself, that's another video. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But man, don't think that just because I'm behind this camera and I'm sitting here talking, you hear me, that everything has been peaches and cream. There's been times where I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. There's been times where I just wanted to throw in the towel and quit, man. There's been times where I just wanted to say, Lord, I'm done. Everybody that I thought that loved me, they hurt me. Everybody I thought that was really down for me and there for me, they're not there. There's times where I don't want to get up out of the bed in the morning. But you know what? I got to keep pushing it. No point intended to disrespect anybody, but I got to keep pushing it. I hold my head to the skies because I know from which comes my supply. I know from which comes my supply. Man, I've had people over the course of my time tell me that I wasn't going to be anything. Tell me that I'm just another statistic. I'm just another cat in a wheelchair, This video is super long, but I'm just going to keep it rolling for a minute, man. I want to encourage anybody and everybody out there that has any type of physical disability, mental disability, don't stop going. You have to keep going. Whether you have ADHD, ADD, anything like that, schizophrenia, all of them, you have to keep going. Whether you have elephantitis, lupus, all of it, you have to keep going. Because I've been in a wheelchair for 35 years. That's over half of my life. But yet I never give up faith. I never give up faith because, and you got to forgive me for going back to the scripture, but scripture says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that are not seen. Now, when you really break that down, it's simply saying you have to have a right now spirit to move. You have to have the willingness to move the way you want to move, even though you don't know how. Even though you can't figure out the way that you need to shake and move, there is a way to move, because even though you don't see it, there's always a secret way to get around to another way. You dig? Let me put it to you like this. If there's a ramp, there's a sidewalk. If there's a sidewalk, there's a ramp. If there's an elevator, there's stairs. If there's stairs, there's an elevator. Don't think you can't go up because you're on the bottom floor. Can I say that again? Don't think that you cannot go up because you're on the bottom floor. Excuse me. Don't clown me. Gotta get a haircut. But, don't think that you cannot go up because you're on the bottom floor. I went through a lot of pain, man. And I still go through it. I go through people telling me what I can't do. I go through people calling me names. I go through a lot. Ain't nobody gonna want you because you're in a wheelchair. All of this stuff, but yet I still hold on to what I believe. I still hold on to faith. I still understand that I can do all things. I still realize that the wheelchair is not who I am. And ladies and gentlemen who are listening to me, you have to realize that your disability does not define you. Yes, you may have this situation, but it's not who you are on the inside. And you have to surround yourself with people who see you for who you are. It is. And I'm about to shut this video out, man, because it's pretty long. But when it all boils down, this is how I feel about being in a wheelchair part 2. About having cerebral palsy part 2. But this message goes out to any and everybody, man. You are somebody. You hear me? You are somebody. All right, you know what they call me, man. But before I get out of here, I want you to like, share, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends, your cat, your dog, your rats, whatever else you have to share this video to. I want this movement to be known because disabled people are people too. Whatever disability is in your life, you're still a person. Love me for me. Love me for me and I'll love you for you. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell, man. It's that boy. You know what they call me. They call me J Story. You heard me? AKA Mr. Rowe. If you want to follow me on my Facebook, man, my name is Joshua Rowe. JOSHUAROWE. You can even type in Mr. Rowe and you will find me. You know, Instagram. Let me not forget, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is JStory _ MR _Rowe. If you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at JStory/Twitter. You know, share it with your friends, man. Share it with your loved ones, all that right there. Man, shout out to a very special someone to me. You know how I'm coming, man. That's how we doing that. But at the end of the day, don't let nobody tell your story like you tell your story, because only you, yes, you that are watching me right now, only you can tell your story like you can tell your story. And until next time, guess what? I'm good.